So did Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively have an affair on the set of It Ends With Us? Well, according to a woman named Gabrielle Hurst and a source that she has that worked on the set of It Ends With Us, they're revealing what went down.
Also featured in this documentary is Maya Schachter. She is a very experienced intimacy coordinator who did not work on It Ends With Us, but she brings a lot of first-hand knowledge and wisdom. And she said something that really got me thinking and resonated.
We need to talk about the symbolism in the Hollywood Reporter cover that is clearly referencing the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively lawsuit drama. This is insane. I have no idea how I feel about it.
Saga begin, and with the threat of future litigation, will it end up in court?
Hollywood, the land of glitz, glamour, and secrets. Behind every red carpet smile and every award show speech, there's a story waiting to be told. Some stories are heartwarming, others are scandalous, and then there are those so shocking they make you question everything you thought you knew. Today, we're diving into one of those stories.
Between them, that they each included in their respective lawsuits, this intimacy coordinator says, quote, "From reading their text messages, I do sense that at one point there was genuine affection between them and what felt like a friendship. In my experience, when an actor says, I don't need to meet the intimacy coordinator until we're shooting, as much as it hinders my process, it does typically indicate that they trust their scene partner. And those texts made me think that at one point, she did feel a lot of trust with him. And you know what? I actually agree with her. But we all know that quickly evaporated. Once the trust is broken, it's hard to get it back."
A secret affair? A rumored betrayal? Two of Hollywood's most beloved stars are caught in whispers that could shake Tinseltown to its core. An alleged affair between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Yes, you heard that right. But how did it start? Why did it happen? And what does this mean for their families, their careers, and Hollywood itself? Let's pull back the curtain and uncover the truth.
She gives a number of different details on Reddit about what was witnessed on the set of It Ends With Us, starting with Justin Baldoni saying that he was in over his head from the very beginning. Apparently, production delays started on day one, which kind of checks out considering we know that Blake's hijacking of the wardrobe set them over budget and also caused delays. But apparently Justin Baldoni was a little too nice, couldn't make any decisive decisions, and gave other people too much power on the set of It Ends With Us, which is probably how Blake Lively came in and hijacked it. And as far as Blake Lively goes, apparently people were afraid of her, and when it came to approaching her trailer, it was like poking the hornet's nest. She allegedly got 2 sets of ADs fired, and was actually worse than what her reputation preceded. Because we've heard for years that she's difficult to work with and she's a diva on the set, but apparently they're claiming, yes, that's all true, and then some. Which is why Baldoni would have to step in and kind of be the middleman because everybody else was actually afraid to approach her. But apparently he didn't have a strong enough backbone to really put her in her place, and he tried to appease her, which now makes sense why he kind of is talking to her like a kindergartner in the voice note that was leaked online. And then we had all the allegations about the toxic positivity workplace environment that he's created in the past.
Ever since the release last summer of her box office hit, It Ends With Us, Blake Lively has been dominating the gossip columns, as a reported rift with her co-star Justin Baldoni became increasingly public. Rumours and allegations followed, from sexual harassment and smear campaigns to bullying and creative sabotage. But rival lawsuits filed by the pair in recent weeks have fanned the flames, shedding new light on the covert warfare of celebrity PR in the process.
Before we dig into the rumors, let's talk about our 2 leading stars, Blake Lively, actress, fashion icon, and Hollywood's golden girl. Known for her role in Gossip Girl and blockbusters like A Simple Favor, she has built a reputation for being effortlessly charming, talented, and above all, devoted to her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Their playful social media banter and picture-perfect romance have made them one of Hollywood's most adored couples. Then there's Justin Baldoni, best known for playing Raphael Solano in Jane the Virgin. But he's not just an actor. He's a director, producer, and advocate for redefining masculinity. A Hollywood good guy, he's married to Emily Baldoni, with whom he shares 2 children. Together, he and Emily have often spoken about their deep commitment to each other and their family.
On the flip side, Baldoni says Lively went too far by exerting control over the production, threatening to withhold promotion unless her demands were met. He also argues that she falsely portrayed their professional relationship to the public, tarnishing his reputation. And while Lively is suing Baldoni for sexual harassment, retaliation, and false slight invasion of privacy, among other claims, Baldoni is countering with a defamation and civil extortion lawsuit, claiming that Lively not only made false allegations against him, but weaponized them to force him into complying with her demands.
So how do 2 seemingly perfect people end up tangled in a web of rumors and allegations? That's where things get interesting.
So when all of this happened, and these publicist names were kind of being dragged through the mud in the New York Times article, it almost saddened me because it felt like my profession was getting a bad rap and kind of misunderstood within all of this. And it made me nervous because Justin Baldoni's publicist in particular, everything that they did is exactly what I would have done had it been my client. So, to see them being dragged through the mud for that.
His lawsuit had way more receipts, never before heard information, full text messages. Hers had way less. He came through, he came prepared, and his lawyer said recently that there's even more receipts that he has.
So, how do 2 seemingly perfect people end up tangled in a web of rumors and allegations? That's where things get interesting.
Also talk about Ryan Reynolds' involvement on set and how he would kind of just sit around and watch from the screening room, which they call Video Village, which they said that a lot of crew members were weirded out by. Because, whose husband just comes to watch his wife in intimate scenes on camera? It's just weird. And when it comes to the affair rumors, they claim they didn't see anything and were shocked when the New York Times article dropped because they don't ever remember a single instance where Justin Baldoni made someone feel uncomfortable. They claim that if anything, people would just walk all over Justin Baldoni because he was too nice, which makes sense when we have the text messages between Jamie Heath and the unnamed producer that claim that he's giving Blake too much control and they didn't want to give her access to the dailies. So it kind of seems like this production was doomed from the start.
The rumor first broke on a podcast featuring an anonymous Hollywood insider, someone who allegedly worked closely with both Blake and Justin on a yet-to-be-released project. According to this source, the chemistry between the 2 was undeniable, and what started as a professional relationship quickly turned into something more. The insider detailed late-night rehearsals, secret text messages, and even alleged business trips that had little to do with business. They even suggested that the 2 had developed an elaborate system to keep their affair hidden, from private jets to encrypted messages on social media. And just when you think it couldn't get more intense, rumors began to swirl that their respective spouses, Ryan Reynolds and Emily Baldoni, may have known more than they let on.
When you read into his lawsuit, it's really fascinating to see how there's 2 courts that are playing out right now, and both of them have a lot of significance in their life. If they lose in the real court, obviously they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars that are at stake, but also in the court of public opinion, hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake. And so this filing to dismiss is essentially him saying nah, boo-boo on the defamation claim, you can't touch me, because it's satire.
Some people who support Blake Lively online have tried to tell me that this is just normal behavior, and in fact, men do this all the time.
That's totally untrue. All of that to a studio or producer would be a little disconcerting. You kind of want people who want to do their job. You don't want an editor who wants to suddenly act. Yeah. Or an actor who wants.
With the insider's revelation out in the open, Hollywood's rumor mill kicked into overdrive. Sources close to the couple, anonymously, of course, claimed that their off-screen chemistry was an open secret on set.
Justin Baldoni has receipts. If that's the case, then why is the latest PR spin that actually the woman claiming Baldoni sexually harassed her is secretly in love with him? A textbook abuser's move. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, was himself accused of sexual assault. While a student at UC Berkeley, Friedman and 2 of his frat brothers were escorting an intoxicated 17-year-old girl so she could join her boyfriend. She blacked out and never made it. She woke up at Friedman's frat house where Friedman and his 2 frat brothers took turns assaulting her. Friedman doesn't deny that the incident occurred, only that she had agreed, she had consented, and settled the lawsuit for $40,000 and no admission of liability.
One shocking claim suggested that Blake and Justin spent a week together at a secluded villa in Italy under the guise of script discussions. A few photos of the luxurious villa surfaced online, but with no clear evidence linking the two stars to the location. It remains just another piece of speculation.
She had a whole litany of allegations against him in her lawsuit, which he pretty much countered point by point in his lawsuit. Body shaming her. He has back problems and was asking his trainer for a guesstimate so that he could perform a stunt safely. He came into her trailer while she was pumping breast milk. He included a text message of her inviting him to rehearse lines in her trailer while she was pumping. He was making a big deal about her appearance. He got notes from the studio.
And then came the cryptic Instagram posts. Some eagle-eyed fans pointed out that Justin had liked and commented on old photos of Blake in ways that seemed, let's say, more affectionate than usual. Meanwhile, Blake had allegedly posted a now-deleted quote about love in unexpected places, which some took as a subtle message. The internet was quick to react, with hashtags like #Blake and Justin Affair and #Hollywood Scandal trending on social media. But amidst all this noise, some major Hollywood names also weighed in.
Of the show, so she is a really big star that has got powerful allies and a huge online.
And she's always been seen as a bit of a golden girl as well.
Oh,
real
she has.
Aspirational figure.
Yeah, you can do no wrong. Blake Lively can do no wrong. People have always thought she's beautiful, she is wonderful, she's got these powerful friends, these allies.
These beautiful children, an amazing husband, the whole package.
Exactly, she is the whole package, and Hollywood has always seen her and her husband as the whole package.
When rumors like these hit Hollywood, you can always count on fellow celebrities to either stir the pot or try to put out the fire. And this time was no different. Chrissy Teigen, known for her unfiltered takes, tweeted, "You all love a good scandal, don't you? Watch it turn out to be nothing but a bad game of telephone. But carry on, I'm entertained." Her words seemed to suggest that the entire affair could be blown out of proportion, but not everyone was so
In
dismissive.
Lively's complaint, she included as an exhibit a, quote, scenario planning document that she says was circulated amongst Baldoni and the defendants should she go public with her grievances about Baldoni. And that there was a part of that that read, again, this is what they would do, what they were going to plan to do if she came forward with her allegations. Quote, "Our team will collate a list of people who have publicly discussed their positive working experience with Justin. Examples include Brandon Sklenar." Now, of course, that scenario planning document doesn't really mean much right now, but it's interesting reading that they thought he would be on his side, because right now, it seems like he's siding with Blake Lively.
Jennifer Lawrence, in an interview for her latest film, was asked about Hollywood relationships and secrecy. Her response: "People think they know everything about celebrity relationships, but trust me, there's a lot that never makes it to the headlines. And sometimes, the rumors are more real than you'd think."
There's 5 other claims. He's got extortion, he's got false light, and everything immediately falls apart there. But I'm saying even that was ill-advisable. I would not have said, quote unquote, hurt feelings and saying, like, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit. And I'm going, guys, that's not good. Don't do that. Like, this is not a great way to argue, especially because they've got you on this extortion. His argument is so weak. He's basically saying, well, I didn't receive any money. And it's like, buddy, extortion is a lot bigger than that. You made threats to go public with sexual harassment claims so that your wife could take over the movie, which you wrote scenes for. There's no wiggling out of this. Like, they have definitely met, I would say, the preliminary standard to go through until we get to some discovery. And my guess is when we get to that discovery, there's going to be a lot stronger defamation claims against Ryan Reynolds, because could you imagine the text messages between him and Hugh Jackman as they're putting together all of these scenes? I mean, it's going to get crazy.
Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds, always the king of humor, posted a cryptic meme of himself looking shocked with the caption, "Me reading Twitter today." Fans immediately speculated that this was his subtle way of addressing the controversy.
I think it's a very lonely job. I'll just be very candid. Because you are kind of at the top of this totem pole. In your moments of quiet, everybody has 1,000 questions for you, and also nobody wants to disturb you. And you don't really have many people to talk to, and you can't necessarily share your anxiety or your nervousness about something because you're also the leader. So it's a very strange place to be, let alone directing while trying to play a character who does the things that Ryle does in the movie. So there were moments in the filming of this where I would just have to leave. I'd have to remove myself and go and shake it out.
But what about Justin and Blake themselves? Total silence and denials. No clarifications. Just business as usual, and that's only fueling the fire.
The article, which is still up on the site but has some updates with some responses from Baldoni's lawyer, it lays out what Lively had to say in her complaint. Lively claimed that Baldoni discussed his sex life, that a production company executive showed her a video of his naked wife, that they both walked into her makeup trailer uninvited, sometimes while she was undressed or breastfeeding. She says Baldoni wanted to add more kiss and sex scenes, which she found gratuitous. She claims the studio had to bring in an intimacy coordinator to try to smooth things out and get the film back on track. Then she claimed once it was time to do press for the movie, a PR team that was hired by Baldoni and Wayfarer tried to make her look bad.
Whether this rumor turns out to be true or just another case of Hollywood gossip gone wild, one thing remains clear. Hollywood thrives on secrecy. From hidden affairs to NDA-covered scandals, the industry has always had a dark side. And when a story like this surfaces, it exposes just how much goes on behind the scenes.
So let's say that Blake Lively finally realized that she needed to capitulate in a big way, and so she gave Team Baldoni and Brian Friedman what they seem to be wanting, which is a full retraction. Let's say that she did that. Do you think that then her reputation and her career could be salvaged? If they walk it back, it could be salvaged in some way?
Well, I don't think it would be what it was, because this whole thing has just come off as like a very odd episode. You know, like you're the actor in the movie. Normally when you signed up to act in it, you didn't sign up to be the co-writer or anything like that. So the whole thing, and then like doing your own edit, like
you're talking about Blake Lively's behavior on this, basically.
Yeah, like that all of that to a studio or producer would be a little disconcerting.
Her lawyer said that the law prohibits weaponizing defamation lawsuits like this one to retaliate against individuals who have filed legal claims or have publicly spoken out about SH and retaliation. Anyway, so Blake Lively basically wanted to apply California law to her lawsuit in New York because that fits her better right now. And today, Justin Baldoni's lawyer reacted to this, and he said that stringent rules are put into place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves. Laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elites to fit their own personal agenda. Why should Blake Lively now apply a law from another state just because it fits her right now?
Take the case of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. What started as whispers on the Mr. and Mrs. Smith set turned into one of Hollywood's biggest affairs. And let's not forget Kristen Stewart and Rupert Sanders, whose behind-the-scenes romance cost them dearly in the public eye. If history has taught us anything, it's that when these rumors surface, they usually have at least a sliver of truth. So the question is, will this be the next big Hollywood revelation or just another fleeting gossip headline?
Blake Lively's publicist, asked to be removed from lawsuit, defends actress against Justin Baldoni's claims. Publicist Leslie Sloan's attorney wrote in the filing that Blake Lively bravely spoke up about Baldoni's predatory behavior, right? And of course, Ryan Reynolds has doubled down, calling him a predator. Well, here's what the judge had to say. You know, they do this whole thing, we represent Leslie Sloan, and here's the reasons we think we should not have to be a part of this trial. The courts should have discretion to stay discovery pending decisions on a motion to dismiss. So what they're saying is, we don't want to give any discovery up if there's a possible motion to dismiss. Well, the judge says this, the motion for a stay of discovery is denied.
So, where do we go from here? Will Blake and Justin address the rumors? Or will they stay silent and let the storm pass? With neither side issuing statements, the speculation continues to grow.
This Lively Baldoni thing was a huge mistake. This sort of thing worked in 2017 when no one was suing, but now you have to bring actual facts to a jury with cross-examination. I love this. That's a good way to wrap your Ferrari around a palm treaty. Insisting that she not be deposed by Brian Friedman, Blake Lively insisting that, is just the cherry on top. Too late to walk it back now. Oh well, Baldoni could easily have $100 million in damages. So, was this still your estimation of things? Has Blake Lively made a terrible mistake? Has she wrapped her Ferrari around a palm tree?
Well, I do think the damages for Baldoni could be very considerable, definitely in the 100 million range or above that, which is obviously problematic.
For Ryan Reynolds and Emily Baldoni, the stakes are high. Will they choose to ignore the whispers, or will their marriages face public scrutiny like so many before them? One thing is certain, Hollywood is watching. But before we jump to conclusions, let's remember, rumors can destroy careers, families, and reputations. In an age where misinformation spreads like wildfire, it's up to us to separate fact from fiction. What do you think? Is this just another Hollywood gossip-fueled frenzy, or is there something real behind these claims? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Remember, in Hollywood, the truth is often stranger than fiction. See you in the next one.